Hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Nizzy Sports Chat. I am your host, Nizzy, and in this video you guys are going to be breaking down the NFL Week 14 game picks heading into Sunday football here coming up tomorrow. Got this video out a little bit late this week. You guys ended up missing the Thursday night matchup, so we'll just go over that game real quick. Couldn't believe the Steelers almost pulled off the comeback before Chase Claypool's antics at the end of the game, costing about 15 seconds off the clock for his squad there. Pretty porous decision on his part, celebrating a first down when you're down by 8 points and, trying to come back to tie the game to push it into overtime there. I did have the Vikings winning this game. I had it 27-20 on my final score. You guys, obviously the Vikings won. I think it was 36-28 was the final score in that one. So the Vikings get back on track in that game. The Steelers fall. Obviously just an atrocious start for them, 29-0. I believe it was at one point at the beginning of the third quarter there. So it's tough to come back from those ones when you're down almost 30 points. Valiant effort by Big Ben in that offense to try and push and come back into the game. Just fell a little bit short there. So we're, starting off to a hot start already this week, you guys. 1-0 so far to start the week, as we did pick the Vikings on the Thursday night matchup there. We'll go through some of last week's picks. You guys had an outstanding week last week. Best week so far this season. 12 wins, 2 losses last week. I was on a 10-0 streak until I lost 2 games in the afternoon slot. The Ravens and the 49ers let me down big time in last week's games. Otherwise, we would have had a 14-0 week last week. Would have won every single fucking game we picked. Would have been absolutely outstanding to go undefeated in a week. Never done it in my fucking life. Would have been pretty awesome to have that happen, you guys. Obviously didn't have money down on every single game in a giant parlay. Otherwise, that would have been incredible if you would have won that one. But 12-2 last week, nonetheless, is still an outstanding record. 113-76 overall so far this season, you guys, plus 37 on the season. Can't complain about that either. Hopefully we can keep the ball rolling this week. So without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and start breaking down these game picks. Obviously, the Thursday night matchup already happened, so we'll go ahead and skip over to the Sunday early games. We got a good divisional matchup right here between the Ravens and the Browns, you guys. I think this is going to be a really, really good game. The Browns are coming off of their bye week here. They're going to be hungry for a victory. It's pretty much game over for the Cleveland Browns if they lose this one. I believe they're sitting at 6-6 on their season. The Ravens have been reeling a little bit lately, haven't been playing very good football. Lamar Jackson's been a little bit turnover prone the last couple of weeks here. So it's going to be a pivotal matchup for both teams in this one. I think the Browns are going to be playing with a little more desperation as they're at the bottom of their division right now. And they're scrapping and clawing for their playoff lives just to be able to try and get into a wild card spot here. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Browns in this game in a very close one, you guys. 24-21 the final over the Ravens. Then we got the Cowboys versus the Washington football team. I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead and pick against Mike McCarthy here. I know he guaranteed a victory for his Dallas Cowboys against the Washington football team earlier in the week, you guys, in his press conference. I'm going Washington, though, man. They've been playing really good ball lately. Beat some big-time names. Obviously, they beat the Bucs a couple weeks back. They've had some signature wins here as of late. That offense has started to get rolling a little bit under Taylor Heineke. Terry McLaurin's an absolute beast out on the wideout position there for them. That defense has really stepped up in the absence of Chase Young being out with his torn ACL. So I like the Washington football team in a close one here, you guys, on their home field, 30-27 over the Cowboys. Then we got another divisional game, Raiders versus Chiefs, you guys. I think this one's going to be a nice matchup as well. I do think the Chiefs are going to be able to keep their win streak rolling here, but I think the Raiders are going to give them a run for their money. The Raiders are going to want to try and keep in that conversation for the wild card spot right now. But I think the Chiefs finally got, a little bit of a method to winning figured out. Obviously, their defense has stepped up and been really good the last month and a half or so. Any given Sunday, that offense is due for an explosion. You never know what Pat Mahomes might be able to muster up with that offense there. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Chiefs over the Raiders, 28-24 in that game, you guys. We got the Seahawks versus the Texans here. An opportunity for the Seahawks to get back-to-back wins for the first time in, before Russell Wilson got injured there, I guess. So it's been a while for them. Their season's pretty well over here. They would have to win every single game the rest of the season, as well as some other teams lose, quite a few games for them to have a chance to make the playoffs. Personally, I think the Seahawks season is over. Well, that doesn't mean they're not going to want to go out there and beat a porous Texans team that has been struggling as of late to be able to produce lots of points and be able to play consistent football out there. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Seahawks over the Texans 30-21 in that game, you guys. Then we got the Jaguars versus the Titans, another divisional matchup here. I'd love to see the Jags pull off the upset here for Trevor Lawrence's sake. They've been having a struggling season so far this year, but they have pulled off a couple upsets. Obviously, they beat the Bills. I can't remember the other win that they got this year off the top of my head right now, but there's a possibility they do beat this Titans team. Obviously, the Titans are missing Derrick Henry still. I'm not too sure what their wideout room's looking at like right now. I know they've been missing some of their wide receivers have been injured as of late, so they've been kind of dealing with a lot of injury woes to that offense. But at the end of the day, I think they got the better coach. I just think they got the better all-around team right now. So I'm still going to go ahead and take the Titans over the Jaguars. You guys, 27-17 in that game. Then we got the Saints versus the Jets in this one. I think the Saints get a little bounce-back game here. I can't see the Jets being able to put up enough points against the Saints defense. I mean, even though the Saints have been struggling as of late, obviously losing Jameis Winston to the ACL injury, not really having a great quarterback. Taysom Hill threw 4 interceptions in his first start. Simeon's been average at best so far for them. So at the end of the day here, I think it's going to be their defense that rides them to the victory in this one. I just don't think the Jets are going to be able to score enough points to be able to take home the victory in this game. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Saints over the Jets, you guys, 24-14, the final. Then we got the Falcons versus the Panthers, another divisional game here. Panthers have been just falling off a cliff. I mean, they started out 3-0 this season, you guys, and it's just been absolute shambles ever since. Obviously, Sam Darnold's down with injury now. They ended up signing Cam Newton. He's back with the Panthers. He's got some touchdowns, but overall, he's looked pretty abysmal, to be honest with you. I think he went, 5 of 20 or something like that in the last game that they lost there. He was not very good at all. I just don't see them being able to fix their broken season at this point. I think the Falcons have a better opportunity to make a wild card spot right now than the Panthers do. And I think the Falcons got the better quarterback and just the better all-around team at this point in the season. I think they got a little more faith in their squad right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Falcons over the Panthers in a close one, 20-17, the final in that game, you guys. Now we'll go over to the Sunday afternoon matchups here. We got the Lions versus the Broncos. Obviously, the Lions are going to try and put 2 wins together here. First time this season, obviously, big win versus the Vikings last week with that last-second touchdown by Jared Goff there to, I think it was Amon-Ra St. Brown, the rookie there. Ended up catching that one for the Tud to win the game there. I just can't see them being able to go into the Broncos' house and beat them. I think the Broncos still got a really stout defense. I think that defense is going to end up eating Jared Goff alive in this game here. I think the Lions will be able to put up some points, but I think the Broncos are going to have a pretty nice game here coming up in that afternoon matchup. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Broncos over the Lions, 30-21, the final. We got the Giants versus the Chargers, you guys. Another shitty year for the Giants, another losing season, another season outside of the playoffs looking in. I don't know what the answer is for this Giants squad, man, to get the ship righted here, but it's almost like they need another overhaul on the offense again, or they need to get a new quarterback or something. But it has not worked out for them this year. It hasn't worked out for them for many years. Chargers are definitely in a lot better position right now with Justin Herbert and that offense. And I just don't think they're going to be able to handle the offensive firepower of the Chargers. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Chargers over the Giants in this one, 35-25, the final score. And we got the 49ers versus the Bengals, you guys. I think this is going to be one of the games of the week here. I expect a big-time matchup between 2 teams battling for playoff positioning right now. Going to be a tough matchup, too. Joe Burrow broke his pinky finger. I was watching a little bit of that game last weekend. It looked just gnarly. His freaking pinky finger was kind of twisted up sideways there. He ended up kind of getting it straightened out. Ended up finishing the game. Obviously, they got beat down pretty good in that one. So we'll see what happens. Of course, it's his throwing hand as well as throwing pinky. So that adds a little bit discomfort to him when he's out there on the field. So we'll have to see how Joe Burrow manages that throughout the game. 49ers come up with a tough loss last week against the Seahawks. I think they're going to bounce back in this one. Have a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth after losing to a abysmal Seahawks team last week. And with the Bengals injury to Joe Burrow there, I think Joe Burrow's playing for sure. I just don't think he's going to be as effective as he could have been if he was fully healthy with that throwing arm. So, excuse me, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and take the 49ers 27-21 over the Bengals in this game. Then we got the Bills and the Bucks, you guys. This is another game of the week, in my opinion. I think this is going to be an outstanding matchup. Real close, tight-knit game. The Bills are going to be coming in hungry for a victory after an embarrassing loss to the Patriots, where they only threw the football 3 times. Ran the ball, I believe, 42 times for 200 and some yards, like 220 or 240 yards on them. We're able to hang on for a 14-10 victory. over the Bills last week. So the Bills are going to be hungry for a victory here. The Bucs are still dealing with some injuries to that secondary unit, and their defense has not been as good as it was last season, obviously, with all the injuries to the secondary. Their run defense is still stout. They're still one of the best run defense teams in the league. Obviously, one of the best offenses in the league as well. But the Bills do have a really stout defense, and I think that offense is going to be able to get that ball down the field against a weak secondary of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Bills in a little bit of an upset here. 30-28, the final score. I think it's going to be a tight, close game, but I do think the Bills are going to come out on top in this one versus the Bucs, 30-28, you guys. Then we got the Sunday night matchup. We got the Bears versus my Packers, you guys. Should be a good game. Justin Fields is going to be starting. Packers are starting to get a little bit more healthy here. Looks like Jair, I don't think Jair is going to be playing this weekend, but he is back at practice now. Looks like he's going to be back in the next couple of weeks. Za'Darius Smith should be back in the next couple of weeks as well. Bakhtiari might be coming back in the next couple here. So it's nice to see this Packers squad starting to get healthier. The Bears have been reeling so far this season. They've been just up and down and all over the place. They're dealing with some injuries of their own as well. Khalil Mack's out for the season now. I believe Akeem Hicks is questionable as well. Their interior D lineman there. So it's going to be a good brawl. I think, anytime you got a big divisional matchup between, the oldest rivalry in football between the Packers and Bears here, it's always made for a good matchup, especially on Sunday night in Lambeau Field. So I do think it's going to be a closer game than people expect. I don't expect a blowout in this one. I do think the Packers will win, but I think it will be a close game. So I'm going to go final score 28-24 for the Green Bay Packers over the Chicago Bears. And then that leaves us with the Monday night matchup, you guys. Another divisional game, the Rams versus the Cardinals here. I think this is going to be an outstanding game. Two teams battling for first place in their division there. Obviously, the Cardinals got a couple game lead right now. They're 10-2 on their season. I believe the Rams are 8-4. So this would be huge if the Rams could beat the Cardinals on Monday night. Advance within their division a little bit, seal their spot in that wild card slot there, improve them to 9-4 on the season. Obviously, the Rams are due for a big time win. They've been struggling as of late. Obviously, they won their last couple games there. But they had a rough loss to the Packers. They've lost to the Cardinals this year as well already. So I think the Rams are going to bounce back, have a big game here against the Cardinals, and be able to take it to them on the Cardinals' home field. So I'm going to go to Rams 30-21 over the Cardinals' final score, you guys. And that wraps it up for this week's Week 14 NFL game picks, you guys. Would love your guys' opinion in the comments section down below. Who do you guys have winning each game heading into the Sunday and Monday night matchups here, you guys? Like I said, we're plus 37 overall so far, 113-76. Had a nice 12-2 week last week. Hopefully we can keep the ball rolling this week. Once again, you guys, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and every video on my channel. Please go ahead and like this video if you like sporting content like this. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future. Thanks again, you guys, for watching this video, and this is Mizzy with Mizzy Sports Channel.